Okay, now that everyone's had time to mourn the death of MatPat, are we ready to admit that game theory fucking sucks? Game theory has always had terrible fucking theories, and they tend to fall into 3 different categories. The first category is games you just flat out never played. The first game that comes to mind for this category, in my opinion, is the Phoenix Wright theory. In this theory, he claims that Phoenix Wright is the worst attorney in all of Ace Attorney, which, if you've played Ace Attorney, you will know that that's just a flat-out lie. Even if you've only played the first Ace Attorney game, one of the most evil attorneys in the entire series is in the first game. He literally kills his rival attorney, takes in his son, then abuses his rival's son, makes him grow up to be a prosecutor, and then frames said son for a murder that he also committed. So what, in MatPat's opinion, could possibly top something that evil? Mishandling evidence. Well, more specifically, not abiding by the rules of evidence that MatPat made up. Even though Ace Attorney itself has its own rules for evidence handling, MatPat just ignores it and makes up his own rules. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, what if MatPat only played the first game? Then he may not know all of the rules and ins and out of Ace Attorney. The rules of handling evidence are in the first game. They're in the 5th case. He literally just had to play through the first game and do all of the cases to know that, but he didn't. He stopped like halfway through case 2. The only real crime that you could get Phoenix on would be trespassing. And while trespassing is a crime, it's a lot better for Phoenix to trespass than to have Maya Fey, an innocent 17-year-old girl, be convicted and possibly sentenced to death for the murder of her sister. The biggest piece of evidence that shows that MatPat did not play Ace Attorney is the fact that he thinks that Phoenix's court record is his pocket.
Alteration, destruction, or concealment of physical evidence falls under the crime of obstruction of justice. And when he touches evidence, especially when he chooses to hide a receipt with the victim's sister's name on it,
but when the police walk in, it's literally the first piece of evidence that they find. The court record is not Phoenix's pocket. The court record is a record of all evidence that is relevant to the case. Phoenix literally did not hide the receipt, and there is no obstruction of justice. He would know that if he bothered to play the games he theorized about. Phoenix Wright also isn't the only one who falls into this category. You can tell from his GTA 6 theory that he did not play GTA 5, considering he keeps saying that Michael, one of the main characters, is part of a witness protection program when he's not. That was specifically a lie in the game. Hollow Knight is apparently also another good example of a theory that MatPat just didn't bother to play the game. I don't know anything about that just because I haven't played Hollow Knight and I don't have time to sit here and flip through all of the Game Theory catalog. Next type of theory are theories that are just a total stretch of the imagination. Like, these ones are grasping at straws and are really clickbaity. Good examples of these would be Rosalina is Peach's daughter, the Toads people are some form of bees. There's lots of them. Just scroll down Game Theory's channel, you'll find one. I'm not going to really cover this type of theory just because I have faith that you, dear viewer, have enough logical sense to look at these theories and know that they are just absolute complete bullshit. Matthew is scraping the barrel. King of scraping the barrel, the next one, and the last one, is the super obvious type. The one that comes to mind personally for me is the first game theory I ever watched, which was the bullet bill theory. Essentially, it is 14 minutes of Matthew explaining to you that something moving at 3 miles an hour isn't going to fucking kill you. You know, because that needed 14 minutes of explaining, apparently. I mean, seriously, have you ever seen a hole in the wall, Matthew? I didn't need to waste 14 minutes watching this theory. Another problem I have with MatPat is that he does not take criticism well. I remember when there was a live stream about him talking about his haters and addressing the hate. One thing that kept coming up was that the quality of theories kept going down, but MatPat kept deflecting, saying, oh, we have such a big crew, oh, the quality of videos has gotten better. No one was talking about the quality of videos, they were talking about the quality of the theories, which, I mean, they've always been bad, but I mean, go off, I guess. I almost feel like him not being able to take criticism also rubbed off on his fan base, because holy shit, internet theorists can't take criticism either. So many people have been doxxed because of theories, and not even specifically MatPat theories, even though there were a lot of people who were doxxed over Sans' Nest, which, again, is literally been declared by MatPat as one of the worst game theories. People were still doxxed for disagreeing with the Sans' Nest theory. But I remember people getting doxxed and getting, like, just absolute death threats sent to them, even over theories like Mabel having a secret twin. Remember that phase of Gravity Falls where absolutely everybody had a secret twin? So when the whole FNAF ARG thing started up by MatPat, I wasn't surprised when tons of people ended up getting doxxed. It's pretty on brand for theorists to just go ape shit over their theories. Before anyone in my comment section gets all offended and gets their panties in a wad over, oh my gosh, not all theorists are like that though. If you're more worried about people talking about it over actually condemning the people that are doing the actions, you have your priorities twisted. I think genuinely the main reason a lot of people don't like fan theories nowadays is because they're taken way too seriously. And people get so upset when you point out flaws in their theories. Not to mention, a lot of them are just flat out bad, or they're theories of coincidence. Something that comes to mind at current is Hazbin Hotel. There are some good theories, like Camilla possibly being fallen from heaven. She may have originally worked on heavenly armor and heavenly weapons, and that's how she knows the power of angelic steel. But then you also have theories like, oh, Alistair's a fallen angel. Oh, Angel Dust is a fallen angel. Husk is a fallen angel. Everybody's a fallen angel, and it's bad. And lots of times when you point out that those theories are bad, you get two reactions. Either people sitting there telling you, oh, it doesn't matter if the theories are bad or not, it's just theories, they're not hurting anybody. Which really isn't true, because it's hurting the reputation of theorists and making them all look stupid and like they're not paying attention. And then the other reaction is people fucking doxing you. So there's that. Now, obviously, not all of this is MatPat's fault, and there really isn't any proof that the people who sit here and dox people and do these horrible things are theorists at all. But it doesn't change that there were theorists in the community that did dox creators for disagreeing with MatPat. And I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if those same people were going to continue doxing people for disagreeing with them. When you don't call out this bad behavior, it doesn't stop at just your community. It continues to spread to everyone else's community and makes things worse for everybody. And that honestly is and was my biggest problem with MatPat. Now, I don't want anyone walking away from this video thinking that MatPat is a horrible person. Maybe at the end of the day, a lot of this didn't get back to MatPat. A lot of the people that were doxxed were smaller creators that either deleted their channels or their channels are buried in the algorithm. However, it's still a problem that needs to be addressed, and I really hope that the new theorists that are taking MatPat's place will address the problem when they see it. And I hope people in the theory communities will call people out on this, because sitting there and saying that it's not every theorist doesn't solve the problem. What's going to solve the problem is calling people out on their bad behavior. And while I would have loved to make this video while MatPat was still in charge of Game Theory, I doubt it would have made anything, because I seriously doubt that this video in particular is going to get any traction, let alone if I had made this, say, a couple years ago. I doubt it would change anything. But if this video ever does get any traction, I would love to see all of the new theorists address the problem. Speaking of addressing things, I want to go ahead and make a couple of predictions about the future of the theory channels as a whole. Number one, I think that Game Theory is gonna bleed subscribers regardless of what the new guy, Tom, Regardless of Tim Tom's efforts, I think that Game Theory is going to bleed viewers. It's not really going to be his fault, but what impacts how fast and how many subscribers are going to leave is going to be his attitude, I think. If Tim Tom takes it on the chin and he's like, I understand, people were very attached to MatPat and they are leaving out of anger for MatPat leaving, I think he'll be okay. If he's gonna be a total diva, he may end up doing more harm than good. Another thing that this new guy, Tim Tom, is gonna have to do is he's gonna have to be accurate. MatPat could afford to be inaccurate because people liked him for his personality. A lot of people don't know Tim Tom, and now he's gonna have to be pinpoint accurate when it comes to his theories, or people are gonna rip him to shreds. They're constantly going to be comparing him to Matthew, even though MatPat's theories fucking suck. Pretty much the same also goes for movie theory. I think that they're also going to lose subscribers regardless of how well they do, though I would also like to point out that I think movie theory needs to stop having a lot of coincidental theories. You know what I'm talking about. The theories that you see on TikTok, and then a month later, movie theory just so happens to have a very similar theory. Now, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I would never accuse anybody of anything. And I really don't have a problem with them covering other people's theories. I'm just saying that you have a pretty big team of theorists. You could have less coincidental theories. And if you want to cover other people's theories, just say, hey, this is this person's theory, or this is this community's theory, or this is a theory that's been circulating around and I want to talk about it, you know. And you could also, you know, maybe give a little bit of a charitable donation. Doesn't have to be much, maybe just a small percentage, you know, could go to charity or something like that. I mean, especially considering it's not your theory to begin with. As for food theory, I think that they're going to do just fine. I don't really see them losing any subscribers. Santi, can I call you Satay? I think Satay has a wonderful personality, and I really don't see him losing any subscribers. Not to mention, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to food, and I genuinely don't see him being overly inaccurate. Unless he starts talking about fucking food mascots again. I swear to God, if I hear another fucking Captain Crunch theory, I'm gonna throw somebody off a ship. Fashion theory will also probably do fine, being that it is the youngest channel of the series. I don't really have an opinion about the host. I want to say Amy? Of course, all of these are just my predictions. If you know more about the theory series, you're more than welcome to make your own fucking conclusions. I couldn't care less. At the end of the day, I don't hate theorists or theories or even MatPat. I'm just tired of bad theories, people not being able to take criticism, and the doxing, and just the toxicity as a whole that I've seen in theorist communities. And again, it's not in every community, but if that's your only defense, you have your priorities twisted. Especially when it comes to doxing people who disagree with you. I'm not making this video because I want to make sure everyone hates theorists. I'm making this video because I genuinely think that this needs to stop. In my opinion, theories should be a point of discussion and learning, not, you know, clickbait or fanfic. I think people should be able to make and critique theories without the fear of being doxxed, and hopefully improve your community regardless if you're a part of the theory community or not. That's all I'm really hoping to get out of this video. Just a little bit of change. And you could also, you know, subscribe to and follow me on Twitch and everything like that, but that's optional.